Part two.
Have you worked with any video games or movies?
Well, yes, I have.
Mhm.
So I was lucky enough to be because I do have a voice agent, so I'm with
Mhm.
VoiceFox in the UK, and I auditioned for Warhammer. So
Mhm.
I am in the Total War Warhammer 2, and I play the character of Wardor, who is a hero character. So it's lots of you won't be able to tell it's me, because it's lots of grunts and shouts and voices which are not in my normal range. So it was
Uh,
lots of jumping up and down and screaming, and Wardor is like a big bull. So yes, but I did that. I did that. Was that last year? It was released last year, so I did it probably the year before. And then films. So as I say, I mentioned it already, but the
mhm.
Drift by Backyard Productions, which is on YouTube, and that was released in 2014, and that's where I was one of the principal characters. Um, I've been in a number of other films. I've been in quite a few short films. There is stuff on YouTube. So I do have an IMDb page as Peter Revel Walsh. There is only one of me.
Mhm.
Um, well, yeah, and I wouldn't expect any different. Um, but yeah, so there are things that I have been in. I did do extra work for a bit, so I've been in the background in some films, some short films, as I say, and also some of my own pieces which I've written and which are up on my YouTube channel. So I've been in a lot of
Mhm.
music videos as well, as a tramp or a drunk or a wizard or things like that.
Nice.
My
Um,
genre.
mm. So you've been in a Warhammer. I know Kate's been in a Warhammer 40K game. So,
Oh yes, yes, she has. Yes.
mm,
What else did I been? I've been in a video game. It's called I played one of the characters. It's like an interactive video game, and it's
mm,
called Poe and Monroe. I can't remember who produced it, but yeah, it's Poe and Monroe. I think that's on my IMDb as well. So I played a character who interacts with the detectives in the game.
nice.
And that was good. So it was live. It was like a live action video game. So, but yeah, Kate's done a lot. She's an
Mm.
expert. She has done loads.
So here, do you have any rules you follow, like a voice acting code?
Like a what? A voice acting
Like a
coach?
voice acting code, like any rules that you follow?
Well, not really. No, I don't. To be honest, like sort of well, there are some people who say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to voice this type of thing or that type of thing." I don't know. It all depends on what. If somebody sent me some material which I just didn't agree with at all, and it would offend me
Mhm.
personally to read it or to perform it, then I would say no, and I would say this is not for me. But I've done stuff. I've done I I've done like sort of well, I've done a number of different genres. Let's say that. Um, so, so in my audiobook career, um, so there's not anything that like if there were things that were homophobic,
Mhm.
misogynistic, or whatever that were racist or
Yeah.
would offend people's sensibilities or in fact offend my sensibilities, then I would probably say no, I don't do it. But other than that, no. If I'm getting paid for it, um it's a job,
Mhm.
and I'm a professional. And if somebody's paying me to do a job, I'll do a job as best as I possibly can.
Let's see here. After reading the Black Star, do you have a favorite character?
Well, I was thinking about this as well actually earlier on, and the first one that came to mind was Yurko
Mhm.
or Yurko. It depends how I said it. Yurko, because she's very strong, she's intelligent, but the thing that I like best about her is she's sarcastic and witty,
Yeah.
and she takes the piss. And I really like those sort of characters because they show, because sarcasm, to me, sarcasm is some people say it's the lowest form of wit, but I think it's the cleverest. And when like sort of when I've got good friends, like sort of being sarcastic, it's a sign of endearment, and it's like sort of that you get on. If somebody takes your sarcasm and gives it right back, then yeah, that's great to me. So I heard, and then I thought about it again as well, and then I was thinking about Joe Livingston. There's something about him that I haven't found out yet. Like, even though I've read the book, there's something about him that's superhuman, but I don't know why he's got that those skills, and like he's down to earth, and like he's just gone into this environment. Like, it seems like he's not. He's just taking it in his stride, and he's running with it, and running very, very fast.
Yeah.
but also, and as well as, and I like Vincent as well. So in fact, I like a lot of the characters, to be honest.
Very nice. I'm glad you do. I mean,
it's good, because I like the way, I do like the way that it does jump around, and like sort of you have a character of, you have a scene with 2 or 3 characters, and then you have another chapter which has another 2 or 3 characters, and I'm liking the way that they're all linking together, and they're all coming to, they're all slowly, like towards the end of the book, where they all came in. Each one of them are touching the others in a different, in some sort of way, and I like that. I like the way that it is like a suspense and a drama, because you don't know how these people are linked.
Oh yeah.
So I enjoyed that, and I like the character development and who they are. So yeah, it was enjoyable to read and narrate.
I was like that with say like the Two Towers, how it was different stories, them all far away from each other but still interacting in a way.
Yeah.
I also like that about like Tarantino's movies and
stuff
like that as well.
Yeah.
Does voice acting run in the family, or is it just you and your sister?
Well, well, it's just me and Kate that get paid for it. But I think we all have a bit of I'll do a bit of voice acting, and like, as I say, silly voices and accents and things. But like, as my brother, Philip, he's a singer, and he's also a musician. But he hasn't gone into the voice acting realm. He's more of a composer or a writer of music and poetry and things like that. So yeah, and like, so there's and my younger sister, she's not in that. She's not a creative, as it were. And then my dad's other kids, so they're more musical rather than vocal. So yeah, it's just me and Kate, really. That so we can be heard, and I am actually looking forward to working with Kate on a project.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I plan on bringing like the book that you did and the universe, type book she's in, bring both of them together in like a big mashup. So we'll be able to work together, no doubt.
Absolutely. No, because it's not very often that you actually get to work with your siblings on a project that actually gets put out there. That's not just a hobby project that you do when you're kids at school or whatever. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'd be proud to work with Kate. She's very good. And I'm proud of her. She is very good. I tell everybody she's very good, because she is.
When Kate introduced me to you, the second line of the email was, I want to work on a project with him. I was like,
oh,
okay,
really?
I'll set something up. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's good. Yeah, it is good, because like, sort of, I think that it's strange, like, because sibling rivalry is a wonderful thing. It kicks you up the arse, and it gets you doing stuff. Like, because originally, so primarily I was the actor, so I was doing the musical theatre, and I was doing the singing and whatever. Kate was singing in bands and stuff like that, so she's a fantastic singer as well, and so she was singing in bands, and I was doing the acting on stage and singing and musical theatre. And then she turned up one day and said, oh, I think I might do a bit of acting. I went, oh, right, okay, thanks. That's my domain. How
Yeah, you're coming
dare
into
you
my
do
wheelhouse. Yeah.
that? And then so she started acting, and she was very, very good. And I thought, right, okay, I'll stop doing my amateur dramatics, and I'll start getting paid for it. So I started doing extra work, and then I started getting. And so so the peer pressure, not peer pressure, but the sibling rivalry between us is very good. And then she encouraged me to get into voice as well. So she's been a great help.
And I'm an only child, so I don't have any sibling rivalry.
Right.
But my mother has a brother, and I kind of see that, off to the side, them having their sibling rivalry. And sometimes I'm glad I'm an only child.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yes, yeah. When we were kids, we probably wish we were only children. But like when we got to the age of 18 or whatever, yeah, we all became best of friends, and we still are.
Are there any like voiceover roles or acting roles that you really want in the future?
I've been asked this quite a few times actually, to be honest, and there's I like a challenge. So I like a character which has got depth, and I like to try and add depth if they haven't. And it's if you say name a character, I don't want to replicate a character that's already been done. Does that make sense? I want to create. I want to create. I want to be given a character that I can make my own, and then people in the future would say, I want to be that character.
So you're not like into the thing where like so many people have played the Joker, but they've done them in different ways.
Right.
Made them their own like that.
But the one actually did come up. It's the one that I did think of. It's probably things like Gandalf. So that sort of character. But I know that Sir Ian McKellen, like, sort of, he played it fantastically. But like it's the one. I don't want to, because I've got it into my head that, like, sort of, I don't really want to compare myself to other people. And I know that sounds a bit silly when I say it, because I as an actor, I am an individual, even though I can play different characters and hone them and change them and whatever. But that's part of the skill as an actor. But I don't want to. I don't know whether I want to. Yeah, I don't know whether I'm making sense here, but
you want to have like that originality.
Yeah,
to your roles.
I want to play a role which is written and then that I get given, and then I play it, and people might say, "My God, that is fantastic! I want to play that character." So, does that make sense?
Yeah, kind of. You want to do it like, you want to be the first, or you don't want to have to emulate anybody and come up with your own stuff type
That's
thing.
it. Yeah. I just made that up on the spur of the moment. I hadn't thought about that, but that's what that's what I want.
Hero or villain? Which one do you like to play more?
Oh, it's got to be a villain.
You and Kate both have that in common.
Yeah, it's got to be a villain, because you see, because I feel like the heroes, they've always got to be. Sometimes they can be a bit too nice, and they've got to play by the book, and they've got to play by the rules. But a villain, you can play so many different. I love playing, like, when, as I said, I mentioned it before, when I played Captain Hook, I loved playing that villain. But because of the way that you can change the way that you portray somebody, you can make a villain like a hero, because they have different levels, and you can make the audience or the people listening like a villain.
Yeah.
So to some people, the villain is the hero.
Yeah, like that old line, the villain thinks he's the hero of his own story.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so yeah, and they believe every, and you can. It's just so much fun to to play around and play. I love, like, in all my creative stuff, I love to play. I enjoy being creative and doing getting characters and performing characters. That's what I love about it. And as I say, I'm so grateful that I'm able to do it.
All right, this is our final question. I always ask this one. What is your favorite music genre and who's your favorite artist?
Right. Okay. I had to think about this one as well because, as I say, currently, I I used to be very eclectic with my music taste. I was born in the 60s. My formative years were going out clubbing in the 80s and 90s. So I was very much I think I used to listen to goth music when I was a student. Then before that I was a new romantic, and I'm currently working on a project called, as I say, The Brainworm. It's called, and it's an audio drama, and it's based around a lot. It's based around a group that was releasing stuff in the 80s. In fact, it's made up group that was in the 80s. So it's a lot of electronic disco type beats, and I'm listening to that at the moment. And and I haven't listened to music in the house for ages, and I've got this thing on. It's on Theta TV, and I can't remember what it's called. It's just like the channel. And it's all that real Euro pop. With a real beat, and so that's what I'm looking. And I love Eurovision and things like that. So it's a bit camp. But as I say, when I was listening to music a lot, I was listening to things like Soft Cell and Annie Lennox and Kate Bush and Alison Moyet, things like that. So and Adele I like a good female voice.
Nice. I've always been really partial to Bowie. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's our last question. In case you want to ask me anything or anything like that, you're more than welcome.
Oh, that's fine. Yes. Yeah, so what? What else have we got in store, Michael?
Well, I've been doing a D&D module I want to have voiced. So I plan on having you do some characters in there and have Kate voice it. So that'll be like the first little project that you work on.
Yeah.
And then I have Kate doing a book in July called In a Dragon's Claw.
Mm-hmm. So you're quite prolific, aren't you, in your writing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I've never stopped writing, so
right. Yeah, it's because it's one of the things, because as I say, I like to challenge myself, and I wasn't a writer. I didn't read a book for fun until I was 21, and I didn't read until I was 9, and I challenged myself probably 2-3 years ago. I challenged myself. There's a thing called the writer. Was it the? I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like a challenge where you write something every day for every day in February, and so I wrote a play every day in February, probably 3 years ago, and then the last year I did it again through October, where it was only half a month, and that's why I wanted to get into the writing of stories, because as I say, my mind just goes all over everywhere, and I don't know how you go about formulating your stories, but before I put pen to paper or fingers to keypad, I've not really thought about an idea. I come up with a sentence and I start going, and so it's a complete roller coaster ride of ideas that just come out. Really, it's very strange. I don't know. So how do you formulate your stories?
Well, when I first started out, I just start writing, and then I put down like all the characters and how many times I used them and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to a certain point, it starts to get complicated. I'm around like maybe 80-90 pages. I'll start doing timelines.
Okay.
This happens here, this happens there, like that. Originally, I wrote The Black Star before I even came up with the characters that I later on ended up giving to Kate.
Okay.
So I had to go into the one afterwards called Unicide, where you're both going to be working together. and then just kind of cut that book up a little bit and get in there and add characters and change scenes and stuff like that. So
nice.
On the reading thing, I was told when I was younger that I wouldn't read above a third grade level.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So I took that as a challenge, and I went right for it. Now I'm on my 8th book.
Yeah.
I love reading. We got like a little library over here in the corner. So
fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. But yeah, it's a strange thing how things develop. Like as you say, somebody told you couldn't do something, so you picked up the mantle and ran with it and said, right, I'll show you. But yeah, and you never know. It's interesting that like sort of how people's paths cross.
Oh yeah,
and you end up working together and like sort of yeah, it is very interesting and all very exciting.
One of the scenes, I think a movie that I saw where the guy was becoming the first black diver, and was played by Cuban Gooding Jr.
Right.
And they asked him why he wanted so bad, and he said, because they told me I couldn't have it.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt about it. It was like, why do you want to be able to read, write, and create your own books and stuff like that? I was like, because they told me I couldn't have it. I've never really dealt well with being told no. So
absolutely. It's because it's yeah. I think this is why I keep doing all these different creative things, because like people going, oh well, but you're doing too much already. Why like you won't do that. You won't do that. I said, well, whatever. I'll give it a go and see what happens. Well, yeah. No, well, it's been good chatting to you, Michael.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, and I hope the part 1 and part 2 are both available.
Well, if we don't get part 1 over, we did really good on part 2. We got some good answers and stuff like that.
Excellent.
So I just need you to hit end on the recording and
okie dokie. Okie dokie. I will do that. Well, thank you very much, Michael, once again. And this is Peter Revel Walsh signing out. Stop recording.